Welcome to Valley Caregiver Resource Center's 24th Annual Celebration of Care, an evening in Paris.
I want to step out down the Champs-Élysées, from the Arch of Triumph to the Petit Palais. That's for me. Bonjour, Paris. I want to wander through the Saint-Honoré, do some window shopping in the Rue de la Paix. That's for me. Bonjour, Paris.
I want to see the den of thinking men, like Jean-Paul Sartre. I must philosophize with all the guys around Montmartre and Montparnasse.
I'm strictly tourist, but I couldn't care less. When they parlez-vous me, then I gotta confess, that's for me. Bonjour, Paris.
Good evening. I'm Michelle DeBudio, Executive Director for Valley Caregiver Resource Center. I want to welcome you to our first ever virtual celebration of care. Every year, we take you on a new journey, and this year you will travel down the streets of Paris. Tonight, you will also experience our mission like never before. Here's what's in store. You're going to hear testimonials from those that have been touched by Valley Caregiver Resource Center. Words from our own mission-driven leaders such as Mary Castro, First Lady of California State University, and also Fresno County District Attorney Lisa Smittcamp. Opportunities to bid in an exciting live auction and an invitation to invest in this life-saving work just for tonight. Thank you to all of our Sapphire, Emerald, and Ruby sponsors. Without our sponsors and each of you attending, this would not be possible. Your generous donations help provide respite for family caregivers, help loved ones with Alzheimer's join in our day program, assist families with Medicare challenges, and allows us to continue advocating in long-term care facilities. Let's all thank our sponsors now. I want to thank each of you again for sharing your evening with us and for believing in the work we do. Now, would you please join me in giving a warm welcome for tonight's host, Subyn. Get ready, because it all starts now.
Good evening. I'm Subyn, and I'm so happy to be here with you in Fresno. We have a special evening planned out for you, and we're going to kick it off in just a few moments. But first, I want to tell you why I'm here. No one is missed by being a caregiver for someone who's elderly, and I found myself in that same position with my stepmom taking care of my dad in his final days. I saw the burden that it placed on her, and that's why Valley Caregiver Resource Center is so important, and we're so grateful that you're tuning in to join us and pivoting during these times of a pandemic. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your generosity tonight. Now, let me tell you how this evening is going to work so you can get the full experience. The silent auction items will be listed on the left-hand sidebar. You will be able to continue bidding on these items as well as the live items until 7:45 tonight. However, you must register under the registration tab, which you will find at the top of this page. Remember, this is real time. I am live in your living room or wherever you may be, so please don't pause. All right, maybe you're wondering about different levels of giving. Like I mentioned before, every dollar is going to make a difference here tonight. So whether it's $1,000, $500, $250, $100, every dollar makes a difference, and we made it possible for you to donate easily tonight. All you have to do is find the donate button on the left-hand sidebar, click donate anytime this evening. Now, everyone joining us here today will have the opportunity to win great prizes, so stay tuned. Before we begin our celebration, we have an important message from Valley Caregiver Resource Center's Governing Board President, Kevin D. Gunner, attorney at law. Come on up to the stage, Kevin. Kevin has been on the board for over 25 years and has served the community with his specialized legal expertise in elder law.
Thank you. Thank you. It's really a privilege to be here. It's been my privilege to serve as president this year of Valley Caregivers. This is a tremendous nonprofit organization. It's been serving the Central Valley for over 32 years. Like you, Subyn, I've had a lot of personal family experiences with people in need, and so it's a personal kind of a thing. And I sincerely believe in this organization. The services that they perform firsthand, they help the most vulnerable people in our community. And tonight, we will learn more about how these services can directly help you and your family. And remember, we're just a phone call away, so call.
Wow, Kevin, you are the ultimate champion for VCRC. We appreciate all that you've done, all of your time and all of your energy you've invested.
Thank you.
So thank you. Enjoy the show.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next I have the honor of welcoming our very own Fresno County District Attorney, Lisa A. Smittcamp. Lisa has been a respected fixture here in the Central Valley's public safety community for nearly 2 decades. She is known as a tireless advocate for victims of crime and a leader in educating the community about preventive measures.
In my role as DA, I sadly see the effects of abuse that occur to the vulnerable populations right here in our Central Valley communities. Elder abuse is sadly a reality for so many of our residents. It comes in many forms: psychological abuse, physical abuse, neglect, and financial misappropriation. Sadly, the perpetrators of these crimes are often the people the elderly trust the most. The list of factors that goes into the recipe for elder abuse is long and varied, but the one that needs attention today more than ever is isolation. Isolation is the breeding ground for elder abuse. 2020 has brought unthinkable challenges for everyone. We are living through a national and international pandemic with the onset of the virus that we know as COVID-19. And because of this, the elders in our community have become more isolated than ever. This is why supporting the Valley Caregiver Resource Center is essential at this time. As a nonprofit organization, VCRC is a way to ensure that our elders are not left in isolation. They provide support for both the seniors and their caregivers throughout the Central Valley. Serving 9 counties, the breadth of their services is essential to meet the challenges that families have dealing with aging loved ones. VCRC offers competent adult daycare. They teach people how to apply for Medicare and how to understand complex insurance policies. Additionally, they advocate for those living in long-term care facilities. 8 years ago, I was fortunate enough to take a leave of absence from my job as a deputy district attorney to help my mother and my uncle care for my aging grandmother. Watching her progress through the sunset of her life was one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but it was also a time of my life that I'm so grateful to have had. Even though we have a big family and a lot of love, we still needed a lot of support and education on how to best care for her. VCRC is the place to find those answers. Their wide array of programs and resources is like a treasure map, and it makes the path of this journey so much more manageable than traveling it alone. That is why we all must support VCRC so that they can give to the families and the seniors who need it the most. I urge you to be generous in your giving, knowing that your contributions are used effectively and efficiently to serve some of the most precious people we know, our senior citizens. I thank you for your time and attention, and I wish you a lovely evening.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing a relevant message for our current times. Our elders and family caregivers need our support. We must not ignore them, but say to them, "We are with you." We say to you, you are not alone, and tonight is all about you. Now, let's get ready to have some fun and make history. Here is our first auction item of the night. Hopefully, you've been able to preview them so far on HandBid. If you haven't, you can find the upcoming ones on the left side of your screen under luxury auction items. So the way you bid on these and throughout our event will be featured on the screen below. And remember, all of our silent and live auction items will close promptly at 7:45 p.m. So make sure you set your max bids. You don't want to miss out on these amazing auction items. Remember, if you have any technical questions throughout the programming, all you have to do is call the number below at 559-696-9384. All right. Usually, if you saw me in person, you would hear me talk fast. I would say $5,000, they would have been at $5,000. Now 6 would have been at 7 and 7 and 7 and 1,000. But I'm going to take my time, nice and easy. We'll walk through the 5 live auction items, and then we'll circle back at the end to see where we're at before we close them out. So auction item number 1 is an amazing wine tasting getaway. You and 9 of your closest friends will be treated to a day of robust wines and scenic views as you visit the Valerie's best wineries. All right, Papa Guinea and Fozzie Estate Winery, Birdstone, and Toca Madera are the 4 that we have. Participants will undergo a detailed wine tasting and get a unique look into not just one winery, but 4 of them. 3 private tastings and 1 gourmet box lunch. Right now, the bidding is at $900, but I want to remind you, a Mercedes Sprinter van will shuttle wine tasters throughout the afternoon, so you don't have to worry about driving. Also, the only restrictions we have is 2 weeks notice and a mutually agreed upon date. So that's auction item number 1. We're so grateful to all the wineries who have donated, and the value of this is at $2,000. So we're only at $900. Get those bids in, keep them coming, and we will check back in a little bit. That was a great start. Remember, bidding closes at 7:45, and you're helping directly help families and seniors throughout the Central Valley. The 24th Annual Celebration of Care allows us to highlight all that we do, and we sincerely thank you for the support that allows us to keep our efforts moving forward. Your support inspires and encourages us as well. We may not be able to travel at this time, but we hope tonight we can celebrate an evening in Paris together. As we continue this celebration, we will be hearing moving stories from caregivers, families, and seniors who are going through real-life situations. You will experience the unconditional love of Dr. Gwendolyn Lockett for her husband who lives with Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Lockett continues to persevere in her caregiving journey because of the support she receives from family and friends and VCRC services.
In 2009, my husband began to have challenges with his memory. He would forget his keys, he would forget his briefcase, he would forget basic things. Then I noticed it was getting more progressive. So I knew it was time for us to have some serious conversations with our doctor. And at the very first appointment, he was diagnosed with dementia. It was quite a shock. It was after that time that his behavior started to change. In fact, it was absolutely mind-boggling. He would just start saying things that he never really said to me before, getting suspicious, having ugly attitudes, and things just got progressively worse. My life changed. I stayed home to keep the peace because that was the easiest way to handle the situation. And it was during that time that a friend introduced me to Valley Caregivers Resource Center. And I immediately called and set up an appointment, and they connected me with Nancy, and Nancy went over all the specific classes that were available. I started attending the classes, and the very first one, with power tools, was the one that really struck a nerve with me in terms of what was available and the help I could get and how I could circumvent the frustration, stress, and all that I was experiencing. But it was through this process of me continually going to the classes, getting the skills and the tools that I needed to help me through this process. So I would like to thank all of the Valley Caregivers Resource Center staff, administrators, teachers, all the support people for this program, because it saved my life. It literally saved my life. My heart is so moved by what I experienced as with the support, the love, the care, the encouragement. I am an administrator, a teacher, educated, but without this help, I would not have made it. And it's so needed for people who have no other resources available to them to get help. So I'm asking if the program and what the needs of our community, if they're important to you, and I'm sure they are, then you would be more than happy to share and give something that would help someone else. And I just want for the people who gave before I had an opportunity to participate in the program, I'm grateful for you, because without you, I wouldn't be here.
Thank you, Dr. Lockett, for sharing your journey with us. I am so grateful VCRC was there for you. Next, we will walk along with Lisa Dean as she shares her personal story of caring for her mom and her dad.
I'm the primary caregiver for both of my parents who have been diagnosed with dementia. Approximately 4 years ago, almost to the day, we moved my parents from Michigan to our home in California to live with us. When we got here, we found out that my mother actually had a host of medical issues, and we started to systematically approach each issue and try to resolve it. While we were doing all of this, we started to notice that possibly something was wrong with my father. I took my father to be evaluated by 15 medical professionals, and I was given the diagnosis that my father also had dementia. Once he was given the diagnosis of dementia, my father became extremely angry, and for the first time I admitted, I can't do this by myself. And I asked for a social worker. She said, what you need is Valley Caregivers. And she said they can provide you respite care, but they can provide you much more than that. After she left, I immediately made a phone call. And the best gift I ever got was that phone number. The second best gift was Leah from Valley Caregivers answered the phone. And she stayed on the phone. Leah let me cry. She let me tell my story, and then she shared her story, not as a staff member, but as someone who had cared for 2 people in her family with dementia. So on Fridays, my dad started to go for 8 hours. My dad refers to everyone at Valley Caregivers as his friends, and that's staff also. For those of you who support Valley Caregivers, you probably know a lot of the staff. And if you don't, you should get to know them because they're the greatest people on earth. During the pandemic, everything changed. My dad could no longer go to PALS. That didn't stop the staff. Packages come in the mail for my dad with activities. Just getting the mail puts a smile on my dad's face. Now my mom is declined and she is bedridden. But as my dad has done for 63 years of marriage, my dad sits by her side. But every week, Leah calls my dad, and my dad gets to talk to his friend. He gets to laugh, and he gets to remove himself for a minute from the seriousness of watching his wife decline. For those of you who support Valley Caregivers, thank you so much, because you saved my family. And you helped me be a better caregiver by giving me the time to step away and by giving my mom her one-on-one time. Because now with my mom in bed, I would give anything to hear her laugh or sing off key with me in the car. I can't do that, but I can remember when we had those times. So I would like to thank everyone for their support and for taking the time to listen to me and my story.
And now we'd like to take a moment of silence in memory of Mary Jane Kidd. I'm so moved right now, Lisa. You are a strong and courageous woman. Your testimony was a beautiful tribute to your mother, and our sincere condolences are with you and your family tonight. You may be in a similar situation, experiencing these caregiving challenges. This evening, we are here to bring hope and awareness to those that need our help. Today, more than ever, we need your support. Be a champion for family caregivers and seniors tonight. It looks like a lot of you have been bidding on our mobile software platform on both the silent and the live auction items. Just a reminder, the silent and the live auction items will all shut down at 7:45 p.m. So we have 5 amazing opportunities for you to walk away with some great gifts. Here's another opportunity to support our family caregivers and seniors. Let's get ready with our second live auction item. Remember, you can donate and bid at any time this evening. All right. Auction item number 2 is LASIK Vision by IQ. Friendly, prompt, accommodating are just some of the adjectives used to describe the LASIK Center and Frank M. Bishop, MD. The LASIK Center is one of Central Valley's most experienced team of LASIK professionals. IQ is ready to help you see the world in a brand new light. Your personal evaluation will determine which procedure is just right for you. Right now, our current bid is at $1,800 and it's valued at over $3,000. So if this is something you've been thinking about, now is the perfect chance to jump in on this item. It's basically at half value. All right, now we move over into auction item number 3. And if you didn't notice, I changed scenes. So I'm now at the French Bistro. And that is all because of Express Yourself Event Design and Decor, where we are hosting tonight's presentation. So together you will design, plan, and execute the perfect party. Maybe it's a birthday party, maybe it's a wedding, a corporate event, a baby shower. Express Yourself will be right there with you to bring your ideas to life. Mutually agreed upon date, of course, and our current bid is just at $500. We're so grateful to Linda Thompson for donating her services tonight, and I know you will enjoy her services with you. The value is $1,500. So again, thank you for all of your wonderful support. We have more live auction items coming, so now I would like to bring Michelle DeBudio back, VCRC's Executive Director.
As you know, without having a dynamic board and leadership, a nonprofit cannot be successful. I would like to thank our board right now for their guidance, their energy, and direction. Because of them, VCRC continues to be a relevant resource in our community. Now I would also like to thank my outstanding staff for the heartfelt work they do every day. Only because of them can we touch the lives of over 15,000 families and seniors every year. Also, a big thanks to our fundraising committee, who without their help, we couldn't have done this great event tonight. We are so appreciative of all the support we received during this pandemic from so many wonderful sponsors and from you all tonight as well. Thank you again.
It is wonderful to hear how the community supports each other in times of crisis and in times of need. Valley Caregiver Resource Center has aimed throughout the years to promote personal and community well-being for countless families, caregivers, and seniors. We will now hear Raymond and Diane Hill's story of perseverance and how the high cap advocated for them during a Medicare appeal process. Raymond and Diane Hill.
I originally had to call for an ambulance because of pain I was having, and I was upstairs and couldn't get down the stairs. And eventually what happened is the Medicare turned down the ambulance ride, and we appealed twice and couldn't get anywhere.
During the 2 appeals, we looked through all the doctor notes that we could find, and it was so frustrating knowing that he was in so much pain. And we were living, our bedroom was on the 2nd floor. He couldn't even make it down the stairs. So it was so frustrating to document all this and still have 2 denials. We had no place to go. We didn't know what to do. We found out about Valley Caregivers. There is a phone number on the ambulance bill if you need further assistance. And that's the number we contacted, and that's Valley Caregivers.
The high cap counselor really interacted with us, and we met one-on-one. She's trained and registered and just kept assuring us all the way that we were going to win this.
And I was thrilled. We were both thrilled.
Mm-hmm. It went.
We were very, very pleased that someone there could help us.
The services were great. They took such good care of us and kept us informed and kept us up to date on everything going on.
They were so professional, always professional. And when we had to go to that 3rd appeal level, the judge at the other on the phone realized that there was a great disability here, that he desperately needed their assistance. And Valley Caregivers was able to pull that out, was able to bring that to the forefront. And they were God savers for us.
I would recommend high cap to anybody that needed help with any problem. I don't know what they couldn't handle. I really don't. They did a fantastic job.
For many, this is a big deal when you have a limited income. Most of us would rather give up on the first appeal. Raymond and Diane went through 3 appeals, and thankfully, during their last attempt, they were able to connect with high cap. Unfortunately, there is still many that don't know that high cap helps with Medicare appeals and offers free Medicare counseling. As long-standing advocates, we bring to you Aubrey Reyes, a dedicated and caring Fresno Madera long-term care ombudsman staff. Aubrey advocates for residents in long-term care facilities.
I am a staff ombudsman with the Fresno Madera Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. This is a program through Valley Caregiver Resource Center. The Ombudsman Program provides advocacy services for residents living in licensed long-term care facilities. Our assistance can help to resolve complaints that range from minor to severe. Last year, I was contacted by a female resident of a residential care facility. This resident informed me that her daughter, who was her power of attorney, was financially abusing her. The resident expressed to me that her daughter had confiscated her personal identification, her insurance cards. This included her bank statements, as well as statements regarding the recent sale of her home. After receiving this call, I visited the resident and I found her to be alert, charming, and very concerned about her daughter's lack of cooperation. About a week later, I received a cross report from Adult Protective Services regarding the same resident listing her daughter as the alleged perpetrator for possible financial elder abuse and isolation. The report included email correspondence provided by the resident's son. The son nor other family members had seen mom since daughter had moved her out of state to Central California a year or so prior. Within these emails, a deep concern was outlined for the well-being of the resident. A few days later, I visited the resident to follow up. She said that she really missed her son and that her daughter would not allow her to even have a phone conversation, and she was also withholding contact information for her son and other family members. Mom further informed me that her daughter and granddaughter verbally degrade her. I moved forward with explaining the complaint process to the resident, and during that time I observed that she exhibited a clear understanding of our consent form as well as the conditions surrounding the allegations. Upon receiving her signed consent, I was able to obtain legal and medical records that were provided to the facility upon admission. I also spoke to the facility staff who attested to witnessing verbal mistreatment by the granddaughter and daughter. After gathering this information, I informed the resident that due to the Adult Protective Services report that I had received, I had been in contact with her son. I offered to help facilitate contact between the resident and her son, and needless to say, she was overjoyed. Today, the resident is no longer receiving unnecessary medication, and she is enjoying being her own responsible person. These are the types of stories that make me feel very honored to work with the Ombudsman program. I feel very fortunate to work on a team of such strong professionals. It's truly our privilege to advocate, and our residents and their stories inspire us.
What a powerful message of empowerment and positive outcome for this resident and her family. The Fresno Madera Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program reunited this resident with her son and was able to regain her financial freedom. Again, this is why we are here, to support families, family caregivers, and seniors. For over 32 years, VCRC has been a voice for many, and now you can be that voice too. Spread the news and let others know about VCRC. Share on your Facebook page. Go to our website. Tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, anyone that would benefit from our services. A lot of the stories you heard tonight came from those that didn't know anything about VCRC until someone shared with them who we are and what we do. Could you imagine if some of these families had never even heard about VCRC? Let's continue to raise money to fund VCRC programs so they can continue to serve families and seniors in our Central Valley. Are you ready for our next live auction item? You could be the next winner. Make sure you get those bids in. Up next is a golfer's dream. This is golfing at 3 country clubs, and each time you will have your very own foursome. So this package is perfect. It will take you to exclusive golf clubs all across the valley, including San Joaquin Country Club, Fort Washington Country Club, and Sunnyside Country Club. Remember, you'll have a foursome each time you play. You cannot play on these without a membership, so grab some friends and enjoy your time on the golf course. The value of this is, of course, priceless because you have to have a membership. Right now, the current bid is just at $500. So this would be a great Christmas gift for dad, for grandpa, for any guy in your life that's special. So let's think about Christmas. It's just around the corner. All right. This might be my favorite auction item of the night, and I think I might have a bid on it. Auction item number 5 takes us to Huntington Beach, just a few hours south. Well, you'll spend 3 nights at the Paseo Hotel and Spa right on the Strip in Huntington Beach. It's cool, the weather is amazing there, and some great dining will be happening. Huntington Beach has everything you need for a great getaway. Now, 3 nights at the Hotel Paseo Spa, dinner, Right now, our current bid is at $840. Did I mention that you will have a ocean view guest room? You'll hear the ocean waves, and they have an amazing rooftop dining bar as well. So current bid's at $840. The value of this is $1,800. 3 nights in Huntington Beach. Make sure you get those bids in. All right. Remember, everything closes at 7:45 p.m. Silent auction and live auction. You can bid as much as you want until then. All right. Now it's time for my favorite part of the event, the part where we share a story with you that really solidifies the importance of our work, the importance of us fighting together, even if we can't be in person tonight. If this is your first virtual experience with the Valley Caregiver Resource Center, we want you to know how dedicated we are to the mission. We are a relentless force for a world that cares for elders and for family caregivers. We are making a difference in our community and hope to be doing that for many years to come. I'm so honored to be able to introduce the First Lady of California State University, Fresno, Mary Castro. Mary Castro has been the First Lady at California State University, Fresno since August of 2013. Mary embraces her role as an active campus and community volunteer.
About 1 year ago on September the 13th, my family and I were in a neurologist's office, and I was shown a screen that changed my life forever. My mother was diagnosed with 2 inoperable brain tumors, and we were told that we needed to enter hospice immediately. This was stunning, and it terrified our family. I found myself in an emotional desert, completely devastated and not knowing where to turn or what the next move should be to take care of someone that I cherished. I looked to my friends who I knew had suffered loss, and they directed me to the Valley Caregiver Resource Center. I looked at the website that they had, and I reviewed the lists of the names of the board of directors over the past few years. And in those names, I saw people that I did trust, people that I knew, and that gave me the courage to call. They helped me to know exactly what I needed to do and laid out for me a plan on how we could do the things that we had promised Mom we would do. They were the voice that I needed on the other end of the line when I couldn't hold it together. It was hard to leave Mom on nights when I was exhausted and when my body wouldn't let me do any more. But knowing that I had a caregiver that would be there in my absence, who would hold my parents' hands when I couldn't, was really invaluable. The night before my mom passed, we had been there with her, and she was in great spirits. My sister had asked who wanted peach pie, and my mom waved her hand and said, "Me." About 11 o'clock that night, I received a picture on my phone from the caregiver that was on duty. And it was my mom in her bed, reaching over and kissing my dad. He was sitting in the chair next to her bed. She had told me, "I felt like I wanted to send you this photo because your mom just kept asking your dad for kisses, and he kept giving them to her." The next morning when I was getting ready to go over to take care of her, I got the call that she had passed to her reward. And she had the best passing. She was able to have breakfast with Dad and share kisses before God granted her her greatest wish, which was to go on. And as much as I felt like I knew I could handle different situations, this was one where I needed to be brave enough to go outside of my realm of knowing and to trust others to guide me. That's what Valley Caregiver Resource Center did for my family, and I will eternally be grateful to them. If you are seeking out a caregiver or seeking out support for yourself as a caregiver, and it's a different level, I want you to know that the Valley Caregiver Resource Center is a group that comes from the heart, and they will help you in any way possible. Blessings to you and your family and your journey.
Thank you, Mary, for sharing such a personal story. It has touched our hearts. Hearing your story reminds us that we are not alone in this journey, and that is why we are here today. To bring continued support to a much-needed services to our Central Valley and for our family, caregivers, and seniors. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. Once again, I hear congratulations is in store as Dr. Joseph Castro has been appointed as the new chancellor for the California State University school system. We are honored to celebrate you and Dr. Castro this evening as well. Now is the time to act and donate from your heart if you haven't given already. We are here tonight not only to try and raise money, but to give hope to local families, seniors, and caregivers. And I need your help to get the word out about the amazing services VCRC offers. We want people to know who we are and where we are. We've been here for almost 32 years, and we would like to keep serving you for more years to come. Look at the donation options below and make a decision to help now. A small donation will help a family caregiver with respite care. It can also help a senior access current Medicare information and counseling. Look for the donation options just below the screen. Your donation will we're live, guys, so sometimes I might slip up. Your donation will allow a loved one with Alzheimer's disease or other related dementia access virtual classes and activities to maintain their quality of life. Lastly, your donation will help our efforts to continue the important work of advocacy for residents currently living in long-term care facilities. So I want to give you some examples of what your dollars will do for our organization. For example, $1,000 could be used for 77 hours of adult daycare services for individuals with Alzheimer's disease or other related dementia. So far, we already have a $1,000 donation that just came in from Jerry and Carol DeBudio. Thank you so much. We appreciate every level of giving. There's nothing too great, of course, but there really is nothing too small. Every dollar is going to make a difference in the lives of the residents that VCRC serves and their caregivers. All right, our next level is $500. For $500, that could pay for just over 20 hours of respite care for family caregivers. Now remember, these caregivers definitely need a break to take care of themselves. Their sanity is just as important as keeping their patient well, their family member, the person that they love. So that's our $500 level. And we already have a donation from David Spencer. Thank you so much for your generous donation, $500. Our next level tonight, $250. That will allow an ombudsman to travel over 860 miles to visit long-term care facilities. $250. Thank you, Gianna Hall, for giving at $250. Now remember, as you give, I will be able to see that coming in. So another great incentive is if you want to hear your name live TV, then donate to VCRC. We're here till 7:45, so keep them coming. All right, another donation, Eric Ron. Thank you so much. That's another $250. You guys are amazing. The next level I want to tell you about is our $100 level. At that level, VCRC can purchase equipment to train our volunteers. All right, at $100, we have Paul Carter. Thank you so much, Paul. We appreciate you. And also Susanna, she's fast and furious behind the scenes, and she gave $100. Thank you so much, Susanna. Now, our last level that I'm going to talk about, but remember, you can give at any level tonight, is $50. $50 will help train some of our seniors to attend virtual classes. Now remember, we've taken their day-to-day programming where they come amongst their peers, so they're having to do this at home virtually. And it's hard to learn virtually for me, so I can't imagine anyone else learning. So $50 at that level. Patty and Tom Schindler have given. Thank you so much, Patty. We appreciate you so much. Keep those donations coming in. We still have about 30 minutes left of giving. Silent auction, live auction, and donations. Keep them coming. If tonight wasn't possible for you to donate, good news. You can still give on the hand bid platform through Sunday, or head over to our VCRC website, www.valleycrc.org, and feel free to give all year long. We need your support. So hand bid will be open till Sunday. Our website is always open for donations. We are always available to answer any questions. David Simpson, thank you so much for just giving $500. We appreciate you. James Haverty gave at $100 as well. Now, as I mentioned before, silent auction, live auction closes at 7:45. So maybe we should check in and see where we're at with those auction items. Our wine tasting, if you remember, you get to tour some amazing wineries here in the Central Valley. That is just at $800. So get those bids in, keep bidding. LASIK Vision by IQ, current bid is still at $1,800. Remember, that's valued at close to $3,000, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, Express Yourself Event Design, where I'm standing. Linda has a serious workshop on the other side of the studio. She can create any event you can imagine. She's also a home decorator, so picking her brain for ideas within your house would be amazing as well. Our golfing, 3 courses, 3 foursomes, 3 private golf clubs is just at $450. Remember, Christmas is right around the corner. And finally, Huntington Beach, our current bid for 3 nights in the Huntington Beach Hotel, Paseo Hotel, right on the Strip, Ocean View Suite, dinner for 2 that night. That current bid is at $740, and our wine tasting just went up to $840. So I see you guys are bidding on there. Keep them coming. Thank you to everyone tonight that has bid. We're so excited to see who the winners are. You still have about 30 minutes left, so keep them coming. All right. After winning your item, you'll receive an invoice from Handbid, and we encourage you to pay by credit card tonight. And please make sure to give us a call tomorrow so that we can get your items to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. And for those that win, a huge congratulations to you. Before we conclude tonight, we would like to announce our raffle prize winners. So we had some great raffle prizes as well. And those winners are Karen Hodge, congratulations, Sharon DeMasters, Leah Bingham, Colleen Wingington, and Kimberly Sherman. Those are our raffle winners. So congratulations. Please make sure to call 1-800-541-8614 to make arrangements to pick up your raffle prizes. All right. Thank you again for joining us tonight as we celebrated an evening in Paris with you. We hope you become a part of our family for years to come. A final note, you can still continue to donate on Handbid until Sunday, and of course on the website all year long. Thank you so much for your support. We hope to see you next year in person. Good night. It's my honor to be here with you tonight.
Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche, voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, que ça me fait quelque chose. Il part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour à plus finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place. Des ennuis, des chagrins s'effacent, heureux, heureux, en mourir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi, moi pour toi dans la vie. Tu me l'as dit, m'as juré pour la vie. Dès que je t'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi